a reminder as we get started in the format. Tonight, the Ultimate Pool Pairs Cup has 4 pairs vying for qualification. All of them will play each other, which means 6 round-robin matches. Top of the group at the end of the night goes through with 2 points for a win, 1 for a draw, none for a defeat. 20-minute matches. That means race to 4. If no one gets to 4, we'll take the score and 0 on the match card, whatever it may be, which means a draw is indeed in play. 6 red shootout, 2 teams are tied at the end of the night. You can see Tom Church there was indeed hunting that golden break. Visibly disappointed he didn't kiss that 8-ball into the top corner pocket. But a good chance, nevertheless. Harry, the top here to get
great chance. The yellow at the top does pass to the top left-hand corner pocket. That's the hardest ball to get onto. The rest are laid out perfectly. And it's really important to them to win the lag and get this opening break, set the tone. Now they've made a ball, set the tone, make a break clearance, and get the former champions just feeling it early. I know it sounds silly to say that, but you have to set the tone here. Disappointment. That's a really poor miss, unfortunately. Early nerves. I think a lot of side, just threw the cue ball way more than he was expecting.
Yeah, the one thing you've got to do, playing great players, give them chances. It's always a difficult thing playing such a great team or a great player, because you know you bang under it from ball 1.
Biggest question here, Reds, is can you squeeze that plant in? As you can see, it's set miles off, absolutely miles off. And I would suggest it probably could be, but it would take everything to make that. So there's got to be a better solution. The better solution is to play into it. Not the outcome they're looking for though. Thinner contact. If they get the underneath of the red doesn't go as far. They just pops them both into play. And then
to the right.
Yeah, that couldn't have gone out too much worse, actually.
On the bottom of the table, I don't think flips back. I think it's too close to get that. It may be okay.
I think they're thinking about red off 8 ball here, and then the reason it may go direct, it may not. But red off 8 will open up the pocket for the other red at the same time, which it may squeeze in quarter pocket, but I don't think so. So it's got to be, obviously, it makes the pot a lot easier as well.
Cue ball's going to be flying.
Got the line, not the pace. It's not the worst outcome though, because the yellow in the top area of the table is now very, very guarded. The 8-ball now doesn't have a natural pocket. So the chance on yellows they had originally is now 20 times harder. It's often the case.
I wonder if there's a way for them to try and play lots of turns. I think the yellow looks to like it slides past the edge. Almost Uno reverse this situation.
The problem is if the red wasn't at the bottom end of the table, I would agree with you that there's some sort of loss of turn at the top end. I don't see where they hide the white, so you end up chasing a bad finish because of it. Probably trying to nudge that a little bit further away. Don't have an angle to get up above the yellow at the top of the table. This is going to be very, very tough.
Could they play into that area from this yellow spot?
Yeah, I think they are thinking about playing the combination shot here. So, yeah, you see what he's looking at here. He's cue ball into the side rail, flip the red. No pace on it, because he's trying to get the cue ball to hold above the yellow, and then you've got a shot on that yellow, middle or plant to the corner. Didn't get deep enough into it.
Be the worst. It's not end of visit necessarily. It's a decent effort, but they've got a shot. It's just pretty horrible.
I think if they make the pot, so they go for the centre pocket rather than the double's easier than the cut for me. But if you go for the cut, your cue ball's going into the 8-ball, and you should hold on the yellow at the bottom and pop the 8-ball on. Slid off it.
It's tough. It's a lovely pot from 𝗪𝗁𝗃, but yeah, sliding off the 8-ball means the cue ball goes straight in off. will be the first frame to Karl and Shaun, no question about that.
Would have liked a few more rolls on that one. If you land straight on the plant to top right, you're out. I'm not saying they're not going to get out, they are, but it's just a little bit more work. Made both, and left a good angle. That was a lovely shot from Karl Sutton.
Yeah, ball and then perfect on the 8-ball. Successful start in frame 1 for Pairs Cup hunters. Won the first ever Ultimate Pool Pairs Cup, a final which, if you watched it, you won't forget. 6-red shootout against Ronan McCarthy and Declan Brennan. Big jumping around, hugs and celebrations at the end of that for one half of the arena.
I can tell you that Declan and Ronan will never forget it.
Free. Lost to Mark Selby and Gareth Potts the year after in a fantastic final. Been to finals night twice more after that. An opening break from Shaun Chipperfield though won't please him. 𝗏𝗃𝗃𝗃 here is first out the gate for his partnership.
Look how close he was to the golden break, right across the lip. Do you have an opener here? Is there an opener on yellows? Not a clean one. Won't want to take on the reds. So he's looking at that plant into the centre. That looks very awkward. Don't know whether the 8-ball's in the way.
Are you a little surprised to see Tom first one out for,
I am, yeah.
for Team 2?
Yeah, I am, although I think it's important that they get this frame, so, you know, in that regard, it's actually not terrible for them, but you know, normally you would put the stronger player second if you're on the right-hand side of the arena, just because of the way the singles frames play out. They switch the order, so if you play frame 3, you also play the Scotch frame 4 and singles frame 5. Tom decided he couldn't take on the yellows, so he's taking on the harder set here.
Well, this is the key shot. Just needs to bump that 8-ball into a possible position. Hasn't. He's on the next red, but rather you than me, he's treetop straight over that yellow.
Yeah, and 2 reds still dead at the bottom end of the table, and the 8-ball's not fully opened up, so we're in a tough spot here early.
Grimace sort of says it all really for 𝗏𝗃𝗃𝗃. It's a tough shot. Seriously, I think you would say is it might have made the table worse at the bottom of the table for yellows. So maybe not as much damage done as there may have been, but for Shaun Chipperfield, he'll just be pleased to be at the table, and he'll fancy these.
He may not have the great opener either. The yellows themselves, if he had ball in hand, you'd go every time. May have to play a safety here. I suppose he can play the plant, the thin plant. So will probably attack. That's the plant. That yellow sat right on the jaw. I'm not sure that drops in. And if it doesn't, then it's caused a major problem.
He's played a lovely cue ball there as well, because he can get through to the one closest to the top left, just looking the overhead direct, which makes this visit quite nice, but yeah, a bit of a problem. Top of the table, go another way, just try and develop some stuff, and he's only making the situation worse. It's time to pull back.
Yeah. Easy loss of turn, bottom left, if he just turns the table over. Put on the back foot on the tactical exchange. So needs to be clever with his next shot. He must think this goes. Dangerous playing the cue ball high. I thought he was going to put the cue ball low. Maybe put the cue ball into the bottom left-hand corner pocket.
effective here. Top to bottom right, cue ball potentially as a combo, making that yellow and clearing the road for the Reds. Big shot.
Could not have gone worse. Opens up the yellow. I guess the only thing that has gone in his favour, it's tied up the yellow on the right-hand side.
Yeah, it's not exactly good news, bad news though, is it?
No, but that yellow not going on the right-hand side, the one by the 8-ball's still a problem, even though it goes top of the table. It's not an inviting layout for Shaun. He's certainly got the better set as they are right now, but yeah, I'm not surprised to see him just pull back. Just wait.
Pretty nailed on. Safety to play.
And that's one of the things that to me separates Shaun and Karl. That they'll do that more than other players. There are players on the tour that there's no way they play safe there because they can see a solution. There was just no, you know, it was odds against, but so many players just chase that odds against finish now. That's a great shot. Getting underneath the yellow to not leave anything on is very good. Okay, he's still not a favourite for the frame, but keeps him in it.
Yeah, Shaun's just got to play a very good shot here. It's next safety difficult, but it's far from ideal on yellows. This frame's got a little bit of money still in it. 8 minutes and change remaining on the match clock.
Winner of this frame is going to go a long way to the result of this match. If Shaun wins it, and for me he's still in front in this tactical exchange, although that's on a knife edge, then 2-0, let's say it takes another 2, 3, 4 minutes off the clock, all of a sudden that's very, very strong. So you just feel with every second that passes, it's so much more Tom winning this frame.
A little bit of bait from Tom Church.
Look what he's done here with the cue ball. He knew the cue ball was going into the red to leave him the angle to play the breakout, although the way he's looking, maybe he's touch off on the angle, maybe it's just going above the yellow. If it was going just below the yellow, it would be perfect, but I think the natural might be taking him just high. Let's see if he can manufacture it. Doesn't look like it.
Goes against it, and he was thinking of playing a great right-hand side. Better of it.
So he's got the angle here to play into it again, but he's going to be leaving the yellow by the 8-ball as a bit of a problem. So I think he's just he decided not to play into it there where he could have done. He was trying to get back across the table a little bit more to play straight in on the yellow by the 8-ball bottom left, and then that would leave the double, which he's taken on anyway.
He's had a result, has he? He's had a right result if that's bottom pocket.
I feel like he has had a result, but Tom's got to understand he's now big favourite for this frame. Doesn't have to be in this visit, remember. It can be, but this is doable, but also it doesn't necessarily have to be. You know, you could
surprises.
Yeah, you know, could you find a loss of turn, get rid of the yellow by the pocket, or not? You know, he's going to take it on, but it doesn't have to be in this visit. So. I'm not sure about this. Where he's left the cue ball here just feels really awkward. He's too thin on the red to hold.
He seems to think he can hold for the bottom red to the bottom right.
I could understand it if he come across the table more, you're dropping it in. He's done really, really well there. Absolutely kills it in. Still not ideal though because of it, because he would rather have played on the one he's nearest to than the one into the right centre pocket.
Yeah, because the one he's nearest to is the one that feels natural into the bottom left corner.
Yeah, if he's on that straight, you drop it in, you leave the perfect angle to get underneath the 8 ball to the top right, or play into it. I'm pretty sure it goes top right though. So he's got himself into a slight poor situation.
Doesn't make the recovery.
15-second shot clock.
Yeah, and he's left it up here for Shaun Chipperfield.
A huge let off for Chippy this in the spring. Huge let off. Although, goodness me, that's a rare sight. Blue moon instance for Shaun Chipperfield. Absolutely one of the Pro Series most solid botters. Do not see that very often.
Mark Card, that was a rarity. That really was. That was poor from Shaun. He's normally the cleanest spotters. He really is. He's right up there, top 2 or 3 in terms of the potting side of the game.
With 4 minutes and ticking to go, we're going 1-1. So this next frame's loaded. Well, Tom Church squares things up. Mistake from Church, a mistake from Chipperfield. As always, it's the one that makes the last mistake that's punished the hardest.
Yeah, and I'm not. Look, if Tom had come to the table and made that run out, he gets slightly straighter on the one to the centre, he drops on, he gets perfect, you expect him to get out there. So I do understand why he went. You know, could he had more benefit if he'd been patient and played that one, lost a turn shot early, take control, then clear up next visit, maybe. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter because of the big mistake from Shaun Chipperfield. And was there a hint of running the clock down for Tom at the end? Is he hoping to see a messy layout and maybe cling on for a draw? Oh, very nearly goal.
To me, that was close. Tom Church is always halfway out of his chair.
And this is one big really good partners in the Pairs Cup is really vital. That both Karl and Shaun know that Shaun's just made a huge mistake. Karl comes to the table and there's no hint of there's no worry between the two of them. There's, Karl almost has kind of got the mindset of, well, I've got you back here, I've got you covered, I'll get us out of it. He's certainly got the opportunity to do that.
It was a tricky, but
I'm sure he's on the next ball.
Just thinking 3-ball plan.
Little tap there from Shaun in the background. The worry for me on that shot was that the yellow was going to stick and be awkward, but it hasn't. It's popped out to the middle of the table, actually popped out really nicely. It goes right, centre or bottom right corner really, really nicely. He has to get to the right-hand side, but it's a little bit tricky.
It's a cute little shot. I didn't think he'd actually have to develop that yellow, but the fact that he did is massive. Still a couple of very good shots to play. Second shot clock. Certainly not as natural for Karl as it is for Shaun.
So that yellow didn't go to the right-hand side, because if it did, he drops it in, because it's perfect, because the connections are then absolute guarantees. So it has to come across for it. So one more good shot to get into prime position.
And it misses. Harry Cook, what a chance you've just got.
When he first left that, I assumed it went to the top left-hand corner. It was off angle to the top left, but when we saw him play it there, it looks like the 8 ball was blocking the path, so had to play that shot. Anyway, what an opportunity it is left. Missed a bad ball in the opening frame, but now an opportunity to put all that right, because these are all there. Only one that really needs any attention is the one nearest the yellow. Get above it now. Just slide across the top side of it. It's good from Tom here, just to help him out with the time.
15-second shot clock. So tough out there.
He's got to be careful. That was a very poor position of Shaun. thought he could slide across and take it into the same pocket, or maybe bottom left, but he's off angle here, and if he misses, Karl can come back. He has time, does Karl?
Certainly does. Certainly does. Seconds and ticking. Karl can make this a buzzer beater. That will certainly be in his mind.
It will be, but also they have the next break in the Scotch frame as well. So make it a buzzer beater, but worse to happen and they have the break, it's not too bad. Oh dear, that nearly went horribly wrong. It's still a lot harder 8-ball than he wanted, but still very much in his range.
So draw or win, this is the shot right here. Heart of the pocket for Karl Sutton. That is a massive, massive frame. Potentially even in the context of this evening. There is still 2 seconds remaining. It will be Karl Sutton and Shaun Chipperfield break. So we still do have the formalities to conclude. It's a tough one to take, 𝗟𝗏𝗃𝗀𝗃.
Yeah, Harry just got that one wrong. He left himself an angle where he could have just played a nice little nudge on it. I thought that it probably maybe went top left. It obviously can't done because he would have played for it in that way. So once he had to play above it, it can go wrong, and that left him off angle. And so for me, it was perfect angle, you know, to go into it. A little nudge could have made it a lot easier. I'm a big fan of not opening, not nudging balls when you don't have to, but that could have really helped him there.
That is that. Shaun Chipperfield and Karl Sutton get out of dodge. Goodness me, that match could have gone one of 2 ways, but in the end, maybe a little Pairs Cup aura prevails for Shaun and Karl. They are on to campaign 2025 with a win to open things up.